Yeah, so the interesting thing about fashion is that it hasn't evolved that much over the past 80 years. And I think that's why you see a lot of fashion startups right now that are really starting to kind of hit over the last 2 to 3 years, because it's an industry where things have been done a certain way for a really long time and the world has just changed around it. So it's fashion is a super insular industry. If you want to get a job in fashion, get an internship at a fashion company. It will probably be an unpaid internship. You know, you will learn one set of very specific things. If you're a textile buyer, you're going to learn how to evaluate and touch and feel fabric and where fabric comes from and where to buy it. If you're a merchandiser, you're going to learn merchandising. Um, and for the longest time, that's how fashion has worked. There are these kind of streams, and you're on the editorial side, then great, go get a job at a magazine. If you are on the design side, great, go try and get a job at a design company. If you're on the manufacturing side, you want to go down that path. And the entry point to all of those has for the longest time been go get an unpaid internship, because it is a really straight path. If you get a job on the editorial side of fashion, start out as an unpaid intern at a magazine. Then you become an editorial assistant. Then you might become, editorial staff for that specific thing. You might be the accessories assistant. Then you might become the accessories manager. Then you'll become the accessories editor. And so it's a really, really, really straight and narrow path. And that lent fashion to become somewhat inflexible. And so the part that I love is the startup side, is that ability to say, yeah, this old fashion model is kind of like the dinosaur. And there's not a lot to be learned from these really, really, really straight and narrow paths that are really inflexible. So, you want to look for the fluidity. You want to look for the gray areas. What are things that traditional fashion companies aren't doing well? How can we attack those areas? Where is our space in that? So from that perspective, fashion startups are night and day different from traditional fashion companies. It's really fascinating. It's like they're two separate industries. And because fashion startups say, the way everything has been done, we're not going to take any of that for granted. We're not going to do things because this is the way they've been done before. And the way the fashion industry works is, this is the way things are done. And so, part of it is a personality thing. Like, fashion's not big. Industry fashion isn't going anywhere. So if you love Vogue, if you love fashion magazines, then go that route. And if you like the idea of the problem solving or new ideas, then go the fashion startup route.